if I ask you and I get your students to design a bridge, and I say, look, I want you to design me a bridge. It's, you know, it's got to kind of cross a river that's about 10 meters wide. It's relatively fast flowing. It's got to take people. So design me a bridge. I'm sure everyone already is beginning to picture a bridge in their mind. We've seen thousands of bridges already in our lives, and we'll have some kind of idea. And if you start to sketch them, there'll be suspension bridges, there'll be great arches of concrete, there'll be bridges that look as though they've been kind of taken from nature, a tree that's cut and rolled across the river. But if I reframe that, not to be about designing a bridge, but designing crossing, think how many different ways there are to cross a river. So simply by reframing it, we can ignite our creativity. Our creativity is not going to that superstore of pre-existing ideas about what bridges look like and selecting one. It's instead coming up with different ways, igniting another playful part of your brain. Maybe you want to have a swing to cross the bridge, a giant swing you can put people on and make it fun. Maybe it's a series of trampolines that you can kind of run on faster and faster and faster, bang, you head all the way across. You know, you can start thinking about it. Maybe it's a tunnel that you'll build. Maybe it's a cannon, a zip wire. You know, the moment you get into it, you know, someone actually went and built a catapult to get across with a really soft landing. Now, look, the point is, though, many of those may not be practical, but what they are is they ignite a ton of more ideas. And if you're listening to this as a video right now, you might want to start writing down different ways of crossing. But there's another question, which is about scoping this thing. Who is it for? Look, my mother was a ballet dancer. My mother-in-law was a spy. I mean, on the right side, I should add. But she was working for MI5 in the UK. You know, they would have gone for the cannon or the swing or something. In my mother's case, very theatrical. In my mother-in-law's case, perhaps by stealth, very secretive. But, you know, if it was for their latter years as a, you know, as a responsible son and son-in-law, I would have said to them, maybe the cannon isn't really the best idea. So you have to think about the user, what the constraints are, who it's for. And that will start, having been so creative, maybe you have to synthesize some of those ideas, put them together. Then the final step, of course, is to think, hold on, there's another question we should ask. Why does Nick's mum want to cross the river? Now, if it's because her hips were worn out from being a ballet dancer and she had to go to the physiotherapist the other side of the river, maybe we should have just reorganized the health service a little, had a weekly clinic on this side of the river. If it was to go to the shops, because there are no shops on one side of the river than the other, maybe we should just change the planning regulations, which meant there could be shops on both sides of the river. So the moment you ask the question why, you might jump from a system solution that's based on atoms to a regulatory one, let's change the planning laws, or a service one, let's come up with a new service. So when we talk about creativity, creativity has to be with a purpose. If any young engineers are listening to this right now, I want them to reflect on what's the difference between speed and velocity. Reflect now. Right. Velocity is speed with direction. Now, innovation and good design is creativity with real purpose. It's that combination. So having real purpose and understanding why people want to do something enables you to be creative in different spheres.